Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast coming to you live and direct from the lab. Ooh, and let me tell you tonight, guys, it's a crisp Jamaican vibe in the lab right now. We just checked the temperature on the thermostat over here. It says 92 degrees, and that's how we love it. Montego Bay, Jamaica style. I'm in the house right now with a very, very special guest, and I gotta tell you, tonight is gonna be classic. As a matter of fact, tonight is groundbreaking for the SQR podcast, Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast, because tonight we have our youngest guest in the house. But before we jump into her and jump into that, let's just go back to the routine here. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's in the house. Big round of applause to Manny behind the camera. Thank you so much for being here, bro. Big shout out to E-Dub, my son Nazi, holding things down. Of course, I want to give a big shout out to Corey, who's blessing us right now. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to all my listeners and my viewers, I am blessed and honored to have Remy Girl Ni in the house. Put your hands together for that. Bong, bong, and another bong. No, for real. My youngest guest on the SQR podcast. Why? Because you're 10 years old, a rapper, a dancer, songwriter, singer, producer, and director.
Yes.
Speak on that.
Okay, so when I say I'm a rapper, a singer, a model, an actor, producer, director, that means that I could do anything you want me to do when you want me to do it. I just don't do one thing and then stop. That's not it.
Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast. Little does she know, she just dropped 2 jewels right out the bat. So you laugh, because here's what we do on the podcast, right? When any of my guests say something profound, and profound means really meaningful, that other people can really apply to their life, I call it dropping a jewel. You follow?
You told me.
You just dropped 2 jewels. You know that, right? When I tell you I'm a singer, a rapper, it means I can do anything you want me to do whenever you want me to do. So what I heard from that is you need to be prepared. So let's just slow this down before we jump into the deep waters, right? And let's just drag, or let me not use the word drag. Let's just pull our viewers and our listeners into the deep water slowly as we figure out who Remy Girl Ni is. Let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
That name.
Okay. The name came from, as you guys may know, Fetty Wap, Remy Boys. I'm not a boy, obviously. So
Big that up.
Yeah. So Remy Girl I'm a Remy Girl. I represent RGF Island and all of that. And my name is Shania Love. But I took the Ni from Shania. So that's how I came up with the name.
Wow. Very creative. Shania sounds like that's the name your parents gave you, correct?
Yes.
Wow. So you just made a hybrid of, instead of Remy Boy, Remy Girl Ni.
Yes.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful conception.
Thank you.
Let's just slow this down, because as I said before, you're my youngest guest on the podcast. 10 years old, right?
Yes.
Can we lift your Poland Springs and my Heineken and make a toast to that? Because definitely you're a pioneer on the show right now. Let's just speak on this. You knew you were going in this lane at what age? Amuse me with that answer.
2.
You know what I was doing at 2?
What?
Finding my toe. I think I found my pinky at 2, right? What are you talking about?
Actually, when I was in my mom's stomach, my dad used to be a rapper. So they used to play the music while I was in my mom's stomach. And we used to just ride around, listen to my dad's music. So before I was even born, I was coming towards where I'm at right now, into bigger things.
Ooh, not the jewel. Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast. Basically, Remy Girl Ni just let you know that from when she was in the tummy. And I love the fact that you said, and I know this just flew naturally, you said when we were riding around, which it was mom and dad in the car, you in the tummy.
And my older brother.
You knew from then.
It was, I'm going in this lane. Music, I have the music buzz. That's basically where I'm at right now. And I really want to get into bigger things. Like I said earlier, I could do whatever you want, but my main thing right now is music. So, yeah.
Let's talk down a little bit. And as we get ready to let my viewers marinate on who I'm really talking to, because I'm sure they're going like, there's no way this girl who's so focused, so driven, is 10 years old. No, it's impressive. I mean, the
Thank
average
you.
10 years old is not as driven as you are. And I want to find out what was the catalyst for that. So growing up, I mean, what, if you could say that now, looking back over 10 years, what was the reason for you being so driven?
Because really my parents are so driven and they're so like, you gotta do this. I'm not gonna wait to do this. I'm gonna do it now. Like, that's basically where I got it from.
You know what? Let's slow this down a little bit. What are the parents' names?
Corey Dishman and Shakima Dishman.
Yo, can we give a toast to Corey and what's
Shakima.
Shakima. Let's give a toast to them. Wow. Yeah. No, big up on that. So you're sitting here telling me mom and dad are transmitting that energy.
Yes.
To do it now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The average 10-year-old is rebelling to that, based on what I know. Why are you not rebelling to it? Why are you accepting it? Or how are you accepting it?
Because I'm not an average 10-year-old. I'm not focused on video games and watching TV. I watch TV and do all of that stuff when I'm done doing what I have to do. That's just how I am. I don't know how that came about, but...
So, you think, and I have to say this, I slow this down because here's another jewel you just snuck by me right there. No, seriously, jewels are just falling out the bags, like, because here you are telling me that not only are you the average 10-year-old, but you're also putting things into priority. Mm-hmm. So you're doing what needs to be done first to get to here. Yeah. So as we get ready to wrap on this break, I want to come back and jump into what it's like being in middle school, and now I'm
in 6th grade now.
Okay, bong. I want to find out what that's like considering what you're doing and your affiliation. I want to bring that up. So Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast. I'm sitting here with Remy Girl Ni, getting deep. Our youngest guest on our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. This is going to be an epic show. By the way, the SoundCloud is moving with its classic Squirrel Rosenberg remix right here. We'll be back after these messages. One. Guest, Remy Girl Ni.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
Your confidence is actually crazy right now, because if you're this confident and focused at 10, I would like to be in the movie or from the bird's eye view watching you like at 20 and 30, because you're just gonna kill it, so when we left off, we were talking about the lane and the influence your parents had to allow you to be this driven and this focused.
Yes.
But let's slow things down. I want to hear. So now you're in middle school, correct?
Mm-hmm.
6th grade.
Yes.
What is that like?
Okay, so officially in 6th grade, not yet. But when September comes, what I can see, and from my perspective, I could see like me. I'm popular in school, like, but I could see me like more people coming on to me, so I could see like that happening, but I could also see me losing friends because of like jealousy and stuff like that. So yeah.
I am extremely impressed as that the fact that you're right now you're able to have that vision, because we were talking off camera or before we got back into the set that you're 10 years old.
Yes.
I'm a confident 45-year-old. There's a 35-year difference. So there's a lot of knowledge I could drop on you. And the fact that you are prepared to lose friends, you follow, due to the jealousy, due to the growth. That's impressive, because I can tell you, looking back, that you are going to lose friends. And if you're really going to be attached to people before, it's going to kind of slow you down. So I respect that. What is it like now that you're around your friends? Everybody wants to hang out, and you have to go to the studio. You have to do this. I mean, are they respective? Are they supportive? Or are they like, how come, Remy Girl Ni can't? And is that what they call you when you're in school?
No. Like, other people that I don't know might call me that, but, like, people, like, I do know, they're not gonna call me that. Because if you knew me before, like, I started... Don't start like being different and start calling me Remy Girl Ni. Just please stay the same, because it's like, if you're gonna be different, then really like that.
Respect. That was big.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was big. So we were talking about right now, and we're gonna like speed up real quick, but I'm gonna come back to the whole middle school, because right now I want to let people know that you are RGF affiliated.
Yes.
Let's share that a little bit. Let them know what we're talking about.
Okay, so really, if you don't know what RGF is, one of their biggest artists is Fetty Wap. So if you ever heard of him, that's his label, and that's the label he signed to. But I'm also affiliated with RGF. I have the chain.
Bong.
Yeah. So I represent RGF, and I represent Remy boys and Remy girls. Like, in my name it says Remy Girl Ni.
Yeah.
Like, say if some people, like, I've heard a lot of people think that I'm affiliated with Remy Ma.
Oh, okay. All right. Which, when we touch on the video that you're going to talk about a little bit later and how you spit, I can understand they might be saying maybe you're emulating her as such a confident female rapper out there. Just okay.
But it's not that. Like, Remy Ma, I love Remy Ma. Like
bars for days. And
like, I'm not gonna like you know how some people come in the game and like want to beef with everybody. I don't want to beef with nobody. I'm gonna stay neutral. I'm gonna stay where I need to stay, and I'm gonna focus on me. I'm not gonna focus on nobody else's career, because at the end of the day, nobody else's career is gonna help my career. So, like, yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast. I'm talking to a 10-year-old. Ladies and gentlemen, there's half of us out here who's not as focused and not as driven as you are. Let's continue this conversation. So now that you've made this name, you've acquired the name, you're actually, let me change that, you've acquired the lane that you're in with RGF. How did you get into RGF?
Well, we made this song called Remy Girl Gang. Well, I made the song Remy Girl Gang, but Daddy went to the studio with me. So we made that song, and we had reached out from some people from RGF, and 2G's is actually the one that really like brought me in to that circle. So shouts out to him.
Yeah, shouts out to 2G's. Yeah, big up for having the vision and the eyes and the ears to like, Bong, I need you on the team.
Yes, definitely, because he's the one that's really like focused on me. Like, he's the first one that actually really like brought me into the circle with RGF. So I really appreciate him doing that. Yeah.
Can I ask you something? What was it like having to perform in front of the Zoo gang or the guys who were there to show them what you were made of? What was that like? Do you remember that? Do you remember the moment, by the way?
Yes,
okay,
definitely.
We're gonna go micro here. Okay. When you were getting ready, leaving your house, what was that feeling like?
Like, my heart was beating really, really fast, but I knew that they already knew what I had like in store for them. It's just like, oh my gosh, something as big as this, like, oh.
So, driving from your house to the studio, I'm assuming. What was that drive like?
I was just thinking about what was going to happen. I was going to think about how focused I was going to be, like not focusing on anything else. I had to clear my mind. Like it was just everything was going on at one time, like boom, boom, boom. Like everything was just being thrown at me at one time, but I could handle it. I wasn't overwhelmed. I was just like, oh my God, something as big as this is about to happen.
Appreciate it for the moment.
Yes.
So you pull up to the studio, get out the car, walk through the door. When the door opened and you walk through the threshold into that,
I let everybody go in before me.
Ooh. Why?
Because I was just like, the closest I am, the more anxious I'm going to become.
Oh, so you use those 9 or 8 people. Oh, it's so classic. Go ahead.
Okay. So we walk to the studio, the little room, and I'm just like, okay, so it's time to do this, it's time to do that. So I start rapping and this and that, and then when I'm rapping, I'm like, when will this be over? When will this be over? So I'm rapping, and when it's over, I'm like, I did it. I made it through it. I'm alive. And then all I hear is, good job, good job, good job. I'm like, I did it. Like, I really did it.
So are you telling me you have a moment where as soon as it goes to rapping moment, you tend to like maybe black out or lose the physical appearance of where you are, and then you come back, or
something like that? Yes.
You should get in the zone, I guess is what they're saying.
Like I'm not focusing on the crowd. Like if I focus on the crowd, I'm just gonna get like like really, really nervous. So I'm focusing on what I'm saying, what I'm doing. I have to make sure everything is right. That's what I was focused on.
You drop the 16 bars, 8 bars, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Right? Walk out the booth, and the report is,
good job. You did amazing. You was good. You was amazing. I never seen anything like that. Like, they was like, you didn't mess up not one time.
So you're 10 now in 2017. When was this?
This was last year of August.
You were 9.
9, yes.
Could you lift up your Poland Spring? Toast with my Heineken. A big shout out to Heineken. A big toast to Poland Spring. Impressed at your accomplishments thus far.
Thank you.
No, that's big.
Thank you.
So let me ask you this. Because the family makeup was mom, dad, 2 brothers, correct?
Yes.
What is that support like around the movement that is Remy Girl Ni?
See, me and my brothers, we have a really close bond. Brothers, sisters, they could argue sometimes, but we still have a really close bond. It's not like me. It's not only me doing something in the little circle with the 3 of us. My older brother is a basketball player. My younger brother is a genius. Like, he could do anything. Like, he's a genius. So we really we're not jealous of each other or nothing, because we all have special talents. Yes.
Big. You know what, let's just take a moment in your podcast, if you don't mind, Remy Girl Ni, and let's just big up the brothers. What's your name again?
Corey and Cortez Dishman.
Big up, guys. The future basketball player and scientist, right? Junior MacGyver, right? Or your B job will be bodyguards for Remy Girl Ni.
Yes.
Let's put it out there. So as a matter of fact, we're putting things out there in the universe, which are the positive things. And that's the most interesting thing about this podcast. And when I talk to my guest, and when we take a break, we're going to come back with 2 things. One is I want to hear where you're going, the plans you're working on. We're going to come in with your record.
Okay.
So on the way out, what's the name of the record we're coming back in with? The video. We Liddy, which is a record you wrote. You're in.
Yes.
It's your joint.
Yes.
Bong. Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast. Remy Girl Ni. Take a quick break. Come back after these messages. Uno.
Right now I attend Mount Pilgrim.
Okay.
Okay.
Shout out to Mount Pilgrim. Shout out to Mount Pilgrim.
Let's get it. Yes, they are. They feeling me. Yes, they are. They feeling me. When we pull up, we say on fleek. So please don't hate on me. I told him I'm not, I run with the zoo. I told him I'm 10, I got nothing to lose. I told him I'm dope, I got something to prove. That been all on like I usually do. I told him I'm not, I run with the zoo. I told him I'm 10, I got nothing to lose. I told him I'm dope, I got something to prove. That been all on like I usually do. 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 That been all on like I usually do.
Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast, coming back with my guest, a very well-spoken, well-rounded, very beautiful, if I may add.
Thank you.
I wonder who do people say you look like, mom or dad?
They say I'm a very good mixture of both, but I get mom more than dad.
Okay, so I can understand, because then, which meant when mom met dad stood no chance. It's got to be banana, because you're gorgeous and very
you.
driven.
Thank
and
you.
Also, I want to use the word seasoned at 10 years old. Yeah, no, because you seem to know how to navigate, like even right now you're in middle school. And I got to tell you,
Yes.
if I can look back, middle school is just a amplified version of high school.
Yes.
High school is just an amplified version of college. And college is an amplified version of life. So if you master middle school, you're good to go.
Actually, I'm the youngest in my district.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take a little break on this. And as a matter of fact, we're not even going to take a break. I'm going to have Manny live on the podcast. Could you turn down Hurricane Squirrel Rosenberg over here so we can kill the sound? That's what we call it, the fan, to cool everything down. Because I don't want to lose any of this. So go back to what we were discussing prior to Hurricane Squirrel Rosenberg.
Okay.
We were mentioning navigating through middle school right now and
Yes.
being aware that middle school is mastering high school, which is mastering college, which is mastering life. So you're aware of that.
Yes.
And now where you are with the support of the family and moving forward, let us talk about what you've recorded and what you've done, and we're going to go into this video real quick.
Okay. So, as you say, what I recorded, that's interesting because a lot of people don't think I go to the studio really often. Like, a lot of people tell me that, but little do they know, I go to the studio every week, every other day. I put in work. I have like 30 songs that I haven't dropped yet.
Ooh.
So, like,
War chest looking good.
yeah, so even though I haven't dropped all of my stuff yet, that's just preparing me for when I have to do something. I could be ready to do it. Like, I'm not gonna be like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah. Lackadaisical or not prepared.
Yes.
So talking about doing stuff, let's talk about this record that we're going to premiere right now on Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast. There's a record you just did.
That was a video I just did.
Yeah, the video, yes. What's the title?
Wee Liddy.
Wee Liddy.
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to play a little bit of this right now. When I come back from hearing Wee Liddy, I want to ask you who put this together, because I'm pretty sure the producing and directing, you had something to do with that.
Yes.
All right. So why don't you, Manny, look into that camera right there and let us know, blast that record off, introduce the video, and then we're going to play it.
Wee Liddy by Remy Girl Ni, my first official video, and go ahead and listen to the song.
Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast. Let's check this out.
I told him I'm 10, I got nothing to lose. I told him I'm dope, I got something to prove. That pulling up. All eyes hit me, but don't be running up. Because them guys with me, I'll get to throwing down. Hopping out the 550s, or them black trucks, so you don't wanna act tough. I got the game in the pit lock, riding in my lane like I'm Kid Rock. Yes sir, my flow's just fresh, fresh like a game out of Ziploc. I hop on the track and I eat it up, like Michael, I'm bad so I beat it up. The OG said it, I got it. They told me work hard and just keep it up. So I'ma work hard, I don't need the love. Yeah, I'ma go hard for that Beamer truck. So I'ma go hard and no easing up. Yeah, I'ma go hard, you ain't keeping up. They call me Nyla, in case you never heard of me. And I just killed that verse, murder in the first degree. Yes, they are, they feeling me. Yes, they are, they feeling me. When we pull up, we say on fleek. So please don't hate on me. I told him I'm not, I run with the zoo. I told him I'm 10, I got nothing to lose. I told him I'm dope, I got something to prove. That been all on like I usually do. I told him I'm not, I run with the zoo. I told him I'm 10, I got nothing to lose. I told him I'm dope, I got something to prove. That been all on like I usually do. Nah, I'm so fly, I'm so high. I'm on fire with these flows, you can try, but you're not nowhere near where I'm at. On this ride to the top, you've been grinding for 10 years, yeah, you might wanna stop. I'm just saying I ain't cocky, I'm just blessed. I be knowing zoo gangs, little princesses, and even finished growing. I'm like Fetty, what it do? So now I'm rolling with the zoo. Know that rapping is my hobby, I know roll is what I do. Water flipping, pencil tapping while I'm sitting in my class. Cause the time is moving slow and I'm just wishing it would pass. Lunchtime, dish salon to Desiree and Karaya. That's my squad, yes we are who they admire and aspire to be like. Look, I'm trying to be polite, but I work hard when I'm in school. Cause I spit fire on this mic. This is what I do, this is what it is. I took my Juna, did my quiz. I'm in school, cause I'm that kid that's making moves about my wrist. Yes, they are, they feeling me. Yes, they are, they feeling me. When we
Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast coming back from that classic, innovative video. Where was that film?
Okay, so we had 3 locations. We had, and we was at the park in Newark.
Right.
We had, and we had the sneaker store.
Okay.
And we had Orange High School.
The Essex logo was right there.
Yes.
Very, very good video.
Thank you.
Let's just let our guests know exactly the name of that record again.
We Liddy.
Where can they find that if they want to check that out again?
Yes.
YouTube?
They could find it YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, and iTunes.
All they have to put in is
We Liddy by Remy Girl Ni.
Bong. Classic record. Now, I'm very impressed with the video footage official.
Thank you.
You know, as I was watching it, I saw how much fun you were having through the whole process.
Yes, it was a really fun process.
I realized that in your bio, when we were talking, you mentioned directing and producing. Did you play a role in that video?
Definitely. It was me and Daddy. One night we just sat at the table. Well, Mommy was involved with this too, but mostly it was me and Daddy sitting at the table thinking about what was going to happen, what we was going to do. So we had got the whole idea of with the principal and the teacher in the beginning. Daddy played the role of the teacher, and my father's friend, which actually teaches at Orange High School, she played the role of the principal. We had that in mind. Then we got the locations. Daddy had to go out through the stuff with, having a license or stuff like that.
Yeah, permits and require insurance and yeah.
So it was just all 3 of us at the table just figuring out what was going to happen, so everything that day wouldn't be scattered up. So yeah, we figured out the outfits. We figured out who we were gonna be sponsored from, who I was gonna be sponsored from. So we had to go through a process of getting the clothes that I was gonna wear. Like I had Prey, I had Red Eye, and I had New Girl Order. This is the dress from New Girl
Oh, wow.
Order.
That's beautiful, actually.
Thank
Wow,
you.
that's big.
Thank you. So yeah, it was just a really, really, really fun process. Like it was an experiment that I'm gonna have more. But I really,
True.
it was
True.
really fun.
Wow, big up to mom and dad. As a matter of fact, let's just look in the camera right now, and let's have I want you to mention mom and dad by name so we can big them up for doing what they do, consciously and subconsciously. What's mom's name?
Shakima,
Dad's name?
Corey.
Big shout out to you guys for being excellent parents, for being so supportive and so real.
Yes.
Let's jump into this. I always am impressed with my guests on what they have done in the past, where they're going. And literally, your future is so ahead of you. It is ridiculous for you to be as driven as you are.
Thank you.
And you know what's so funny? When we were talking off camera, I paused because I said to you, I really treasure the wisdom that comes from someone of your perspective.
Thank you.
The reason why Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast is even moving right now, and E-Dub is attest to this, his son, who is 14 or 15 at the time, came here and we sat down, and I was inspired by what he was doing in his basement or in his room. And he's one of the catalysts. Big shout out to my boy, Velice. I got to give you a shout out right now, my dude, because he is 13, 14, but he is the catalyst for this podcast. Seriously. You follow? So big shout out. So when I sit with you, and I've told you before, because growing up, I've met older people who are like, oh, shut up, you can't tell me. But I'm curious to listen. And I'm known that wisdom comes from the words of the mouths of babes. So I'm telling you right now, I'm very blessed to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm very honored to know that you're so driven. And I just want to mention that Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast is going to be one of the most predominant podcasts in the very near future. And I do know that Remy Girl Ni is going to be one of the biggest artists right behind Fetty Wap, coming out of Paterson, New Jersey, killing it. So as we get ready to wrap, I want to ask you this question. What do you think of, two questions I have to ask you. The first question is this. What do you think of what's going on in today's world right now, especially in the United States, as a 10-year-old?
Okay, so it's different parts. So what part do you would like me to start with?
Okay, I like the fact that you want me to be specific, politically speaking.
Okay. So
It's your opinion.
So we could start with,
You're talking about Trumpito? Is that what you're trying to be diplomatically skirting around?
okay.
I want to hear your perspective as a 10-year-old. No. I can't even say 10 because your vision is more like a 27 or 29-year-old. But you're 10 in años, in years. What's your perspective right now on where things are going?
I want to start with how a lot of people see color and how a lot of people see I don't see colors. I see you. I don't if I'm really gonna be a part of your life, I'm gonna look at you. I'm not gonna look at the color of your skin, the race of your parents. I'm not gonna look at that. So that's really that's a big part of the world today. Whether you're white, black, Hispanic, Indian, Jamaican, African, Haitian, I really don't care about that. I care about who you are, because you could be Spanish and you could be a really, really, really mean person, but you could be Spanish and you could be a really, really, really nice person. So it just depends on that. That's one of the things I don't like in the world.
The separation by races, which is really the division.
Another part of the world is how our president handles what he handles. I don't like how he says what he says, he says what's on his mind. I don't like that. I'm not saying he's a bad person, because everybody deserves a second chance, but I'm just saying that. So
I am wow, holy smokes. It's very rare. My sound guy and everybody else will tell you I talk a lot on this show. And it's not an interview me, it's an interview you, right? And it's interesting that I get a chance because I was very profound with what you said. Everybody deserves a second chance.
Yes.
You snuck 2 jewels by me, and I didn't want to interrupt you. The first one is everybody deserves a second chance. The second one is where you said you don't look at color, you see people.
Yes.
And this is jewels coming from a 10-year-old. I mean, very driven, very prophetic, very aware. And if we all could take a page from her book. So as we get ready to close here on Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast with my guest, Remy Girl Ni, 2 things you could change in the world. What would they be?
Racism is one. And peace. We need more peace and love and all of that.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast, Remy Girl Ni. It's rare that I'm at a loss for words, and I am at a loss for words in the presence of this very well-spoken, beautiful young lady. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being so well-spoken, so driven, so motivated.
Thank you.
You guys take a page out of her book, get your crap together, and go do something. No, literally, go do something. The cancellation or the change of racism along with peace. Squirrel Rosenberg Podcast, Remy Girl Ni, 1.